I think that havening techniques is very new for Japanese. Comparing with the EFT or TFT.
Sure.
So could you tell me about that havening a bit?
Sure. Havening techniques was developed over about 12 years by Dr. Ronald Rudin. He's also from America. And it's only been launched to the public, you could say, over the past, well, less than a year. Mm-hmm. I'm only one of 36 people in the whole world to be a certified havening techniques practitioner. I'm very good at my therapy anyway, already with my NLP and TFT, which I use mostly. But when I heard about this havening on the grapevine, I thought, I've got to learn this. I have to learn it. And so I went to Dr. Rudin. I'm in Bangkok at the moment. I flew from Bangkok, and I even went to Detroit, Michigan, to a place called Ann Arbor, which is in the middle of nowhere. It was in the middle of winter. It was minus 20 degrees. Wow. 10 foot of snow. And I went there, and I thought, I'm going to learn it from this guy, and that's how I did it. And it's a fantastic technique because unlike EFT, TFT, and everything else, which is based on the meridian energy system, which is great, as I said, it's fantastic. Havening is actually based on neuroscience, neurobiology, brain science, and it's how the brain works, basically. And Dr. Ronald Rudin, over, say, 12 years, discovered that specific soothing touch to specific parts of the body activates a very strong delta wave to the brain. And this delta wave releases an enzyme in the brain, and the enzyme goes to the amygdala, and the amygdala is the emotional center of the brain. So if you have some fear or some phobia which you previously thought about, so somebody might come to me and say, yeah, I've got a fear of flying or chocolate cravings or something, by thinking about it, it activates the receptors in the brain on the amygdala. Okay, so if you were to tell me, you're scared of ghosts or something else like that, or you're angry at your boss, you've activated those receptors in your brain by doing specific soothing touch to the upper body, arms, face, hands, activates a very strong electrical delta wave which goes to the brain, releases this enzyme. This enzyme goes to those receptors which have been activated on the amygdala, so it's all about science, which is great, and it actually, the receptors are kind of hooked to the amygdala, anger at my boss or something. This enzyme comes along and it actually kind of melts away the bottom of these receptors and it releases them. So it kind of delinks them, you could say. And once they're delinked from the amygdala, it's gone. It's permanently gone. The emotion is gone. The trauma is gone. Wherever it's come from, even if you know where it's come from or you don't know where it's come from. So it's permanent. It's based on science, how the brain works. And there's a very famous guy called Paul McKenna, and he's written many books. He's the top best-selling non-fiction author in England. He's in America. He's done various fantastic shows. And he says, havening is going to change the face, this is me paraphrasing, havening is going to change the face of psychology forever. And so that's why I was so passionate. I thought, I've got to learn this. And I use it now with my clients in conjunction with some of the other things, probably the tapping, but the havening is just so easy, so simple to perform, but the effects and say the science are just so deep and indisputable. Which means, some people say, well, energy and the meridians and the tapping, I don't believe it.
Okay.
You cannot dispute neuroscience, neurobiology. You cannot dispute that. Touching certain parts of your body will release this enzyme and it will unhook the receptors from your brain and your problem is gone. And it's provable. And, well, to experience it, you will just go, oh my gosh, I don't feel like smoking, or my anger is gone, or my stress from my work, it's gone. And often it's permanent. And again, it works fast. 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. Everybody's different, of course, but it works fast because, once the enzyme is released and it unhooks those receptors, they're gone. The key is just to find the cause or the core of the problem, or just even by thinking about it, it will activate those receptors anyway. So I'm very excited by it.